my little butterflies, welcome back to my channel Butterfly MUA. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mercedes and I'm the face behind Butterfly MUA, and if you are new, please remember to hit that subscribe button because at 100 subscribers I will be doing a giveaway on my channel. And if you're not new, hi, welcome back. So straight in, this is the palette I'm going to play with today. So this is the Morphe x Manny Mua Glam Palette. I have had this in my collection for some time. I bought it during the pandemic. So I was very much into spending my pennies online while I couldn't go out. I was one of those annoying people that was buying makeup online and getting it delivered to my house during a pandemic. But yeah, this was one of the ones I bought. I did get it on sale. I remember buying it because it was down to £5, and I remember buying a few of them. So I bought one for me, I bought one for my old channel, I was doing a competition on there or a giveaway, and then I bought one for my mum for Christmas last year before. So yeah, I tried it, and I remember doing the video on my old channel and thinking, it's okay, it's alright, it's fine. But actually I have not used it since because it's not very pigmented. There's hard pan on one of the palettes already, on one of the shades already. It's a nice neutral toned palette. I do really want to like it, but I remember playing with it and not being overly happy with the look I'd come up with. I remember struggling a little bit with it, so then I threw it to the back of the drawer and it has not seen the light of day since. So I was going through my collection and I was like, do you know what, I need to start culling palettes that don't make me happy. If I'm not happy with them and I'm not going to use them, they need to go. Plus my birthday's coming up and I know that my husband and my children have bought me a calendar, the big ass Revolution one, and that has like 3 or 4 new eyeshadow palettes in there. So I'm like, do I really need to keep ones that I'm not going to use and not going to enjoy when I have new ones coming that I know I will like the formula of and the colour stories because it's Revolution and I love Revolution. So yeah, I'm going to play with this one today, see if I can come up with an eye look that is half decent. As you can tell, I've not got high hopes. If I do actually come up with an eye look that is actually really nice and I do like it, then there is potentially a part of me that will keep it. But if I play with it and I'm still really not happy, then it's gonna go. And this is actually one of the palettes that I just featured in my chopping block video, so I need to play with it. I need to know what I feel. So I need to prime my eyes, and I also need to swatch this. You also do have these two eyeshadows, highlighter shades down the bottom. I am going to test those out as well. From what I can remember, I think the highlighter shades were actually really decent and I did like them. It was literally just the eyeshadows. So yeah, I'm going to prime my eyes and swatch this and then get down to playing with it. Okay, so I have swatched them and I have primed my eyes, so I'm just going to quickly tell you the shade names. So we have Dust Cloud, Scorpio, Fire Witch, Leo, Sophie, Spellbound, Cancer, Zaya, Boy Next Door, Gamenta, Aries, and Howl. And then we have the 2 highlighter shades which you can't see, Nova and Apollo. So the swatch is semi-okay. It does look a bit patchy, like it's not swatched the best. So from what I remember last time, I don't think it's swatched the best anyway, but I do want to point something out. So the shade Cancer, which is this red shade here, red metallic, it could possibly not be swatching very well because the last time I used it I dampened down my brush. So I'm going to give it that. I did dampen my brush, so maybe that has left it a bit funny. Maybe I need to dampen my brush down again to use that shade. So I just need to brush my friend down my face a bit more so you can actually see when I'm doing my makeup. But this vibrant red shade, Gamenta, that one is really, really hard in the pan. I had to go in a couple of times to get like a swatch from it, and even then, like, it doesn't swatch very well. But you can't always go by swatches. Swatches are swatches. It's how it works on the eyes that really matters. Swatches are just there so you can see the colour story. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. So I think the first shade I'm going to go in with is Sophie. What brush am I going to use today? How have I managed to get red on there already? So yeah, just go in with a bit of Sophie and see how we go. First impressions of Sophie, that has actually gone on really nicely. You know, that's actually a really nice pigmented neutral base shade. You know, you can use it as a base shade, a transition shade. So far, Sophie is okay. And yes, I am already wearing mascara. I did the school run this morning, and you know me, that if I've done the school run and put mascara on, then I'm probably pushed for time and I don't really want to do like my whole face makeup again, because if I take my mascara off, it's going to take the rest of my makeup around that area off. So yeah. So that is Sophie. There was a bit of kickback in the pan, I've just blown it away, but I am not mad at kickback. I'm not even mad at fallout. As long as the palette works, I'm happy. I might put a bit more concealer on my eyes, so my Revolution Conceal and Hydrate, now that I've done that, just because I want to give all the shades that I'm using a fighting chance. Like, I don't like getting rid of makeup just for the sake of getting rid of it, because it's a waste. So I thought if I do that, then maybe it'll give the others a chance to pop and potentially work better than they did before. I think I remember before I tried to go in with like the oranges and the reds, so I think I'm going to do that again, because maybe I'm a bit more experienced with makeup now, that I can make them work, potentially. I don't know what brush I want to use. Might grab that one. So I'm going to go in with the orange shade, which is Fire Witch. It's not very pigmented at all, and it looks patchy. Very patchy. And I'm pretty sure this was the problem I had before. See, I don't know whether it's because the shade has been too hardly pressed in the pan, because like I'm putting my brush in and there's not much kickback compared to Sophie. Sophie was really soft. My brush went into it, picked up pigment almost straight away. Whereas this one, I'm proper like having to tap to get anything on the brush. So I don't know whether it's just the way the pigment is pressed, but it's not as vibrant as I want it to be. But maybe it's not meant to be vibrant. I think because I am so spoilt with eyeshadow and pigment stuff that my expectations are way too high now. Maybe because of that, I'm expecting pigment, power, it's on the eyes, it's there. Maybe I can't be like that. I'm gonna go in with Gamenta, which is that very maroony red shade. I think I'm going to go in with a bit of Zaya, just to sort of try and blend out. Now see the brown shades in this, beautiful, and they work really well. Oh, I didn't tell you what one. Spellbound I've just gone into. I didn't really like Gamenta. It's patchy again, just like Fire Witch. So I'm just going over the top of it with Spellbound. Maybe I'll mix them both together, so both Gamenta and Spellbound. Okay, if I'm still not happy with Fire Witch, I just don't like it. So, bit of fallout, but I'm not mad. So I might go in with some Leo on a brush, give it a pick up, and go over. No, that doesn't show up at all. I was thinking, you know, like you can do like a metallic bit and then a matte bit, so it sort of like blends away. But that's done nothing, so I'm going to dampen down my brush. So the setting spray I have at the minute is the I Heart Revolution Cranberry one. It's the only one I have to hand. So I'm just going to dampen down Leo. which does actually create a really nice shade, like a lot more there. Like I could potentially dampen down the mattes to make them more vibrant, but then they're harder to blend out and they can look a bit messy, so I don't like doing that to matte shades unless it's like a palette where they are meant to be dampened down, like Revolution have Creator Revolution where they have their Hydra pigment palettes or something. Then I can see the point, but I don't see the point if that's not how it's meant to be. I really want to use the shade Aries because that looks really pretty, so I'm going to go in with the normal brush. Now again, it needs to be dampened down. Okay, I actually quite like the metallic look, but I find that the Gamenta one on the outside still looks quite patchy. So I'm going to go in with Scorpio, the golden shade, but I'm just going to damp down the brush straight away because it seems to be what the rest of them have had to have. Then I'm just going to take some of Zaya and go under my lash line. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it because I would normally do like an inner corner highlight. Oh, actually I have the two highlighter shades, don't I? I was going to say because I've dampened down all the metallics, I then don't really want to use that on the inner corner. But I actually have the two highlighters, so I'm going to go in with Apollo. And that is the finished eye look. So I'm going to have a quick tidy up because there's a tiny bit of fallout, not too much. Reapply some mascara. Then I'm going to put a bit of the highlighter on my cheeks. Then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is the finished eye look. I literally just had a quick tidy up and then put a tiny bit more mascara on. Because I already had mascara on, it was kind of difficult to reapply it, although I can still see some concealer on my lash. Hopefully that's a bit better. Sorry if it irritates you. So I'm gonna apply some highlighter. I did have a tiny bit of highlighter on from this morning from the school run, but I've just re-concealed under my eyes, so it's taken most of it away. So I think for my highlight today I'm going to go in with Nova because I used Apollo on the inner corner. I'm just going to take my highlightery brush . Do you know what, that's actually a really pretty highlighter. Does give a nice glow. I hope you can see that on the camera. Does give a nice glow. Just going to use my brush with some powder because although I like glow, I don't like looking like Edward Cullen. Okay, so that is the highlighter done. I do quite like that, but I can't just keep an eyeshadow palette for the highlighters. So what are my final thoughts on the Manny Mua Glam Palette? Not for me. So while I do actually quite like the eye look I have achieved, it does look quite pretty, it's wearable, it was hard work. And I have other palettes in my collection with similar tones, similar shades, similar colour stories that are not as hard work. And I could create this look without having to really push my brushes and my setting spray, and it just doesn't give me that wow. It's, in my honest opinion, I wasn't fully impressed with it the first time round. Again, I'm not impressed with it. While I like the eye look, it's just too much hard work when there are easier palettes to use in my collection and I enjoy a lot more. Yes, I did like the highlight shades, they actually work really nicely, but I'm not going to keep a palette and just use up the highlight shades because I have other highlights in my collection. I have Kylie Cosmetics, I have xxxx Revolution, Makeup Obsession, Revolution, Soph Times Revolution, I have Huda Beauty, so I have loads of different highlights in my collection that I really don't need to keep these. So I think this one is definitely going to be going in my declutter box. I will be doing a video when I have gone through quite a lot of makeup and showing you everything I'm decluttering all at once. But this one is not a keeper. The browns actually work really well. I will give them that. Sophie, Spellbound, Zaya, they work perfectionly. Like, is that even a word? Probably not. But they work really, really well. Like, you dip your brush in and it picks up the pigment and it's on your eye, blends out, perfect. But the ready toned ones, no. And the thing is, I have brownie neutral palettes in my collection that are just brownie nude palettes and neutral palettes that work perfectly. Whereas this has the red and the orange in there. I really wanted to play with them. I really wanted to create a look using those, and they're the two that don't work. The metallic formula, it's swatched nice, but when it actually goes to applying on your eye, yes, I could have used my finger maybe to apply them. But I just, you know, I'm wearing long nails. I don't want to be digging my finger into a palette. I want it to apply on a brush. I do use metallic shades where I will use my finger. Maybe I should have done that. But to be honest, even then it's not, you know, I've had to damp them down. It's, no. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to find justification for it. Like, maybe I did this wrong, maybe I did this wrong. No, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't work how I work. I have palettes in my collection that work how I work. I can dip into them, like my Tatty Beauty one. I can use brushes, I can use my finger, I can use whatever I want to apply the eyeshadow to my eye, and it applies. This takes too much work. Now please don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Manny Mua. I actually think he's a really talented makeup artist, and his own personal brand, Luna Beauty. I have been eyeing up some stuff. I really like the look of the Spellbook palettes, but I just haven't had the pennies to buy that because I'm obsessed with Revolution and I buy everything from there. But you know, I have heard such good things about his own brand. I think it's because it's a Morphe palette. If I'm honest, in my opinion, they're very hit and miss. I have the Maddie Ziegler palette, which I actually love. It works really well. Does take a bit of work, don't get me wrong. When I've used it before, it does take work. It takes a bit of getting used to and getting to know it to make it work, but it works. This one, for me, is a no, and it's going in my declutter basket, so bye bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And let me know down below, do you guys have that palette? How do you find that palette works for you? Does it work really good? Do I have a dud? Do I have a dud palette? Because I know that happens sometimes. I know that some people absolutely rave about stuff and then other people get it and they're like, well, I must have a dud because it works for so-and-so, but it doesn't work for me. Is that the case? Let me know down below. So yeah, hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.